Welcome back to the ultimate golf ball test. This is episode 3 of a 6-video mini-series where I put 18 of the best golf balls on the market head to head to see which one deserves a spot in your bag. We've already tested heavyweight hitters from Titleist, Callaway and Srixon, but today we turn our attention to 2 brands that don't usually get the spotlight when it comes to golf balls, Mizuno and Wilson. Now you have definitely heard of both of these golf brands. They are huge in the golf club industry. Mizuno makes some of the purest irons on the planet, and Wilson have a long legacy of major wins under their belt. But what often gets overlooked is their premium golf balls. And today, I'm putting 4 of their golf balls through their paces. We've got the Mizuno Pro S, we've got the Mizuno Pro X, we've got the Wilson Staff Model, and we've got the Wilson Staff Model X. Now these are tour level golf balls, but why are they so overlooked? Are they severely underrated? And can they compete with the big boys like Titleist, Callaway, Srixon, and TaylorMade? Well, today, we're gonna find out. Let's get into it. First things first, let's break down what each of these golf balls bring to the table. Starting with the Mizuno Pro S. Now this is a softer feeling golf ball with incredible spin around the greens. If you like precision with your wedges with a softer, muted feel at impact, then this could be the golf ball for you. The Mizuno Pro X is a firmer feeling golf ball with a lower spin compared to the Pro S. This golf ball is built for players who prioritize ball speed and a penetrating ball flight. A very good option if you have high swing speed. Moving on to the Wilson Staff Model. This golf ball could be compared to the Titleist Pro V1. It's a softer feeling ball but packs a punch. I'm expecting good distance from this golf ball, but does it have the same control as the Titleist Pro V1? We'll find out in this video. And finally, we've got the Wilson Staff Model X. This is a firmer feeling golf ball and it spins a little bit more than the previous ball. This golf ball is designed to give you the most control around the greens without sacrificing too much on distance. But how do these 4 golf balls compare to the leading golf balls on the market? So far, the Callaway Chrome Tour Triple Diamond tops our rankings and it's outperformed all the golf balls from Titleist and Srixon. And to top our rankings, these golf balls have to perform in 3 different areas. We need good distance, good control, and good consistency. The goal of this series is to eliminate all of the marketing noise that these golf brands make and instead purely focus on the data to decide which is actually the best golf ball. Which means the data gathering process has to be spot on, and this is how I'm going about it. I am hitting every single one of these golf balls with 4 different clubs. The lob wedge, the pitching wedge, the 7-iron and the driver. You cannot be crowned the best golf ball in the world if you can't perform with all of the golf clubs in your bag. I'm going to be hitting each golf ball with each club 20 times, which means for this test series, I'm going to be hitting over 1,500 shots. A huge amount of data being gathered for this test. Now, to make sure that this test is fair, I'm going to be using club head speed as a controlling factor. That way, I'm testing these golf balls like for like rather than how I'm swinging on a particular day. And finally, to make sure that we're using reliable data, I'm only going to use the best 15 strikes from each data set. That way, all of these golf balls are using good shots for their data, and we can get rid of all of the shanks and the tops that I hit. So this is a huge test, and by the end of it, we should know which is the best premium golf ball on the planet. Now, I gathered all of the data for today's test yesterday. I hit all 320 shots over the course of about 12 hours, and boy, did my body hate me towards the end. Not gonna lie to you guys, I am sweating buckets. But if you want accurate results, you have to gather a lot of data. And I want this test to be as accurate as possible. And after a long day, I've got all of the results ready to show you guys. But before we dive in, drop a comment below. Have you guys ever played a Mizuno or Wilson golf ball? If so, which one? And if not, which one of these golf balls are you most curious about? And hey, if you're enjoying this video and you're enjoying this series, hit that subscribe button. You definitely don't want to miss out on next week's round. We are getting ever closer to crowning the best premium golf ball on the planet. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Anyway, back to this video. Let's see how Mizuno and Wilson stack up against the golf balls we've already tested. I'm going to start off with the Lob Wedge results, and the average club head speed for the Lob Wedge was 50 miles an hour. Subscribers of the channel and viewers of this series know that this is basically a pitch shot for me, an area of the game where we need a lot of control and a lot of stopping power. As always, I'm not going to drip feed these results to you. On screen now are all of the results. As you can see, we looked at 5 different metrics. We looked at carry dispersion, ball speed, spin, and height. The combination of all of these metrics give us a really good performance value for these golf balls. And if we take in all of this data, I think there's a fairly clear winner between these 2 golf balls so far. Both the Wilson golf balls are outperforming the Mizuno golf balls with this club. We've got a big carry number with the Wilson staff model, and that 53.2 yard carry is actually the longest carry I've had in this whole test so far. Not only is that golf ball carrying a long way, the stopping power is really good as well. The spin number is really high, but due to the height that golf ball is flying, the descent angle will be steeper and therefore it will stop quicker. We've got a little bit of extra spin with the staff model X, but with the golf ball coming into the green a little bit flatter, the stopping power is probably going to be very, very similar. So an interesting start to this test, and the Wilson is already showing some signs of some good performance. Round 1 definitely going to the Wilson over the Mizuno, and I actually think compared to the other golf balls I've tested so far in this series, the Wilson is probably the best golf ball with the lob wedge. Let's move on to the pitching wedge. For the pitching wedge, the average club head speed was 77 miles an hour, which is basically a full swing for me. On screen now are all of the results. And again, I think we've got a pretty clear winner. I think the Wilson golf balls are again outperforming the Mizuno golf balls. We've got longer carry with the Wilson golf balls. We've got more spin with the Wilson golf balls. And if we look at the Wilson staff model's ball flight, we'll have a pretty steep descent angle with some good spin, which means the stopping power is going to be great again. A quick shout out to the Wilson staff model X. The spin number is really high. That spin number with the pitching wedge is higher than any of the other golf balls I've tested so far. We're only 2 golf clubs into these results, and it's clear that the Wilson staff model golf balls are really performing well. Let's see if that performance continues with a 7-iron and a driver. Moving on to the 7-iron, and the average club head speed for this club was 87 miles an hour. Again, a full swing for me, and we're starting to hit the golf balls a little bit harder. Let's see how that affects the performance. We're finally starting to see the Mizuno golf balls start to perform just as good as the Wilson golf balls. Some very similar results across the board here. With that said though, the stopping power with the Wilson golf balls is fractionally better than the Mizunos. We've got a little bit more spin with the Wilson golf balls, and we've got a higher ball flight. One very interesting point to make about these 7-iron results though is the carry dispersion. All 4 of these golf balls' carry dispersion was better with the 7-iron than it was with the pitching wedge. It's almost as if the harder you hit these golf balls, the better they perform. So maybe these results are starting to suggest that these golf balls are built for higher swing speeds. Let me know in the comments, are you using any of these golf balls? And if so, what is your swing speed? I'd be interested to know if there are any slower swing speeds getting good results from these golf balls. While you comment, I'll move on to the driver results. And finally, the driver results. Some say that this is the most important club in your bag, and naturally, most of us want to be able to hit these golf balls as far as possible. Let's have a look at the results. The average club head speed for the driver was 103 miles an hour. And again, we've got one golf ball standing out from the rest, and that's the Wilson staff model. We've got a carry of basically 258 yards, which is the longest carry out of any golf ball I've tested so far. We've got a ball speed of 153.6 miles an hour, which again is higher than any golf ball I've tested so far. And when you combine that with relatively low spin, we've got a golf ball built for distance. The only issue I have with all 4 of these golf balls with the driver is the carry dispersions. These are the worst carry dispersion numbers I've seen from any golf ball tested so far. And like I said earlier on in this video, I only use good strikes for my data, and these carry dispersion numbers are below average. And I think carry dispersion relates directly to the build quality of these golf balls. Don't get me wrong, the performance is very, very good. The average numbers are very, very good. But if you can't rely on your golf ball to carry the distance that you expect it to, does it deserve a spot in your bag? That's food for thought. Let me know in the comments what you think. So that's all of the results summarized for the Wilson golf balls and the Mizuno golf balls. Let's see how these golf balls stack up compared to the best golf balls on the market. Let's update the overall leaderboard. If you're new to this series, 1, where have you been? We're already on the 3rd video of this series. And 2, the overall leaderboard is determined via a point system that's loosely based on the F1 scoring system. Exponentially more points given to higher finishes, and I'm awarding points for finishes in 3 different categories: distance, control, and consistency. Because of the way the point system works, every time a new ball is added to the mix, the overall leaderboard gets a good old shake-up. Just because the Callaway Chrome Tour Triple Diamond topped our leaderboard last week doesn't mean it'll even stay in the top 5 this week. Here are how things currently stack up in the top 5 of each of the 3 categories I'm looking at. And as you can see, the Wilson golf balls jump straight to the top of the distance leaderboard, while none of these 4 golf balls I've tested today even feature in the top 5 for consistency. We now have 14 golf balls on our overall leaderboard. Let's have a look at what the bottom half of this leaderboard looks like. Unfortunately, the 2 Mizuno golf balls are bottom of the pile. There was nothing really exceptional about either of these golf balls, and unfortunately, the consistency in carry really let these golf balls down. Other notable golf balls in the bottom half of this leaderboard are the flagship Titleist Pro V1 and the Pro V1 X. These are arguably the most popular golf balls on tour, which makes me question whether we're actually being sold a lower quality product compared to the pros. There've always been these rumors that pros use different golf balls to the general public, and I'm starting to think if my results are starting to expose that. I was really expecting Titleist to be a long way up this leaderboard, but so far they're pretty disappointing. But less negativity, let's have a look at the top 7. And straight in at number 1, we have the Wilson Staff Model X. This golf ball was the least worst out of the 4 I tested today in terms of consistency, but it was by far the longest golf ball I've tested so far. Couple that with some very good spin numbers, and it's clear to see why this golf ball has topped the standings. At first glance, you can see why the golf balls I've tested today aren't very popular. But if you dig a little deeper, there's gold to be found. And the Wilson Staff Model X is just that. A great golf ball and great value for money. Out of the top 5 golf balls on our leaderboard, we have 4 different manufacturers, and none of these manufacturers are running away with this test so far. And we still have 4 different golf balls from 2 different manufacturers to throw into the mix. Next week, I have one simple question to answer. Why doesn't Tiger Woods use tailor-made golf balls? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on next week's video. Guys, thank you so much for watching this whole video. Honestly, it means the world to me that you're still watching these videos, and hopefully I'll see you next week for another one. Thanks again.